Another concern, because of the delay of this book issue, the progressives have grabbed the power in our high school. Each of you personally allowed them access to simply walk in the front door. They are now hurting confused children. And that furthers the evil.
One of the right's most prolific grifters, our guy Charlie Kirk, was recently at a conference called The Great Reset, a Turning Point USA event, where, he gets into the topic du jour of conservatism right now, which is basically parent choice, what's happening in schools, etc. He makes a point that the real quote-unquote book banners aren't these unhinged parents and right-wingers who are just like, yo, you can't teach anything in school that might make my kid think it's fucked up to be a white person. He says, no, those aren't the real book banners. The real book banners, in fact, are people who don't want to teach the Bible in Arizona public schools. He makes the quite stupid point that they're more likely to teach about lesbian sex, which is a lie, than Peter, Mark, Luke, or John, or, Psalms or anything like that.
They are the book banners. I could prove it to you. When was the last time the Bible was allowed to be taught in local Arizona public schools? Like, oh, well, we can't do that. Okay, let me get this straight. So you want to teach children that are 9 years old in Arizona schools about lesbian sex, but God forbid you would teach them about Proverbs, Psalms, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Like, oh, no, well, we can't have that because we're absent of morality.
Here's the thing about, quote-unquote, banning the Bible from schools, which, by the way, we don't even need to get into the sort of separation of church and state part of it. The part that this is a country that allegedly has freedom of religion, and so therefore, why are you teaching the Bible at a school with kids that might be non-denominational, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, you name it, whatever. We don't need to, Hindu, we don't even need to go into that. But how about this? The book's not banned because if you want your kids to learn about the Bible and you're so Christian, they're going to go to church. They're going to go to Sunday school. They're going to learn about the Bible. The book's not banned. However, when you guys feel like you got to ban certain books because they might teach certain facts about, say, the Civil War or Reconstruction, students aren't getting that information somewhere else in their lives. They need to get it at school. So forget about the constitutional fact. Let's just talk about the fact that if y'all so gung-ho about Christianity, y'all taking these little kids to church and Sunday school anyway. So then, of course, we have to get to actual legitimate book banning happening across our country, spearheaded by who else? Conservative groups. And now this is not even your variety of, let's ban sex ed from the kids because, if my 9-year-old learns about lesbianism, her head or body might explode and turn into fire. These people are going further than that. Like, just straight up, let's ban these books from libraries, public libraries, so that nobody who might want to learn this information could have access to it.
The Jamestown conservatives, as they're called, successfully convinced residents by a margin of just under 800 votes that they should defund this millage that costs residents on average $24 a year because the library is dangerous and grooming and indoctrinating their children. 2 librarians were threatened and harassed to the point that they quit their jobs, all because the library stood up for people's First Amendment rights to be able to access a book that these people didn't like.
Right? Like, this takes it a step even further and is legitimately scary stuff. This, according to commondreams.org, it's been found that so far in 2022, parents and other community members have quote-unquote challenged 1,651 different books and have issued 681 complaints across the country. This is scary, folks. The scariest part about this, if we do anything to learn something from our history, it's that these authoritarian types, these authoritarian regimes, this is what they do. They push the narratives about what information is good, what information is valid, what information is dangerous. And that's how they control the narrative and keep people under their rule of thumb, okay? It's just that simple. And so it's definitely something we need to be diligent about. And clowns like Charlie Kirk, obviously, we see that the guy's a big idiot. But the rhetoric is very dangerous, and you see parents are actually acting on it. So we got to stay tuned on this.